Hey everyone, and welcome to Mediocre Gamers, where we discuss all things gaming. I'm Crimson, and today I'm joined by my co-host Caleb.
Hello, hello.
How's it going today, man?
It's going all right. Finally got Magic Arena downloaded. That was quite an ordeal, but we'll get into that a little bit later. Other than that, I'm doing all right. I woke up this morning. That's always a good thing, I hear. How about you?
That does help. Yeah, I woke up also around 2 o'clock this morning.
Jesus.
Yeah, I've been doing the same thing. Just a lot of Magic Arena, testing it out. Now it is in beta, and we both have access.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Unfortunately, it is in beta, so it's not polished
At all.
at all. And there's a lot of changes that need to be done for this system to be user friendly
Yes.
and pocketbook friendly.
Yes.
So let's just jump into it.
Yeah. Um, the first thing that caught me, and I did a video of right when I started it up, of opening the packs and kind of going over the menu interface. And I'll have that uploaded hopefully tonight. So everybody check that out. It'll definitely be uploaded by the time this episode goes live.
Yeah,
But
and you guys can also watch me stream it. I have been streaming it pretty much every day at Crimson Invec on Twitch.
yep, and we'll have the links in the description. And the menu interface seems really good. The collection interface seems really good. But there's been a lot of missteps for me of the RNG is weird. Like for going first, I think I've played about 9 games now and I've gone first once.
Yeah,
And that
I feel
seems
the same way.
really odd. Yeah, that seems really odd. Like Eternal, Hearthstone, usually you can get into a little bit of a rut where you're going, second, like maybe 3, 4 times in a row, but 8 times? That's that's a lot. Um, but otherwise it seems fine. The collection problem that I did have was that certain cards were not popping up when I would filter.
I have that problem also.
Yeah, like you were telling me, hey, you should look at Champion of Wits, and I'm like, I know that card. I was like sort, but we forgot the name, so I was like sort for blue cards and this and whatever, and full collection of owned and not owned. I'm like, cool, do that, and it never popped up. But then I found the card and I had to do it in like a weird way of like turning on and off owned collection and then something else, and then it finally popped up. But I'm like, okay, so I don't even know all the cards that are available right now, and I can't just filter out and see everything because certain things may not pop up.
Yeah, I had that issue with a couple cards too that I was looking for.
Yeah. And so that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Also, there is no tutorial, which I don't really care because I've played Magic, but I did not see anything about a tutorial.
And
Which,
it's beta,
and again,
so
it is beta,
there may
but
be one.
for yes, but for players who, let's say, they are interested in Magic, and they're like, "Hey, I signed up for the beta for Arena, and it didn't tell me how to play." Now, it does do a lot of the like highlighting cards that you can play and auto tapping and stuff like that, so that helps. But it doesn't. There is no actual tutorial yet, which is fine for now. Whatever.
The
But
tutorial is Duel of the Planeswalkers.
oh god. No, the tutorial is going and spending $500 on a standard deck and then going and getting your ass kicked by a bunch of pro players at your local game store. But
That
the
sounds like
other thing
Arena.
is, it does, except, we can't buy anything with real money, thank God.
Thank God.
Um, the other issue that I had with no tutorial or anything, or even tooltips, specifically tooltips of going, hey, you got a wild card out of this pack. This is what it does. It doesn't even say that it's a wild card.
Yeah, like if you don't know, if you haven't been watching videos or other
Hmm.
streamers, you would just be like, "What the fuck is this card?"
Yeah. I actually tried to click on it because I thought it was I figured it was a wild card because you had told me about him. And I was like, oh, so I click it and it reveals, the rarity or whatever. And it's like, it's not clicking. Okay, I guess it's common. I don't know. Maybe it's a wild card. I don't know what the fuck this thing is. So it doesn't tell you what a wild card is. And when you're in your collection and it shows your wild cards, it doesn't tell you how to redeem them. I actually had to go to fucking Reddit to find out how to redeem the wild cards.
Now, for the people listening, to redeem it, it's very much like Hearthstone. You find the unowned card you want, and you try to add it to your deck, and it will say,
Yep.
"Do you want to use your wild card on this card?"
Yes. And again, that's not overly complicated, but it feels like a lot of the system so far. And again, this is closed beta. This isn't even open beta where things will be a little more polished, but it feels like a grand misstep for even a closed beta to assume that we've played Hearthstone, to assume that we've played Eternal and be like, yeah, you do it just like you dust or craft a card in these other games. When you create a game, even though you are deliberately ripping off another game, you still got to put the fucking tooltips in there.
Yeah.
Like, me and you have been playing Magic for fucking over a decade.
Well,
I think you for 2 decades.
2.5.
2.5. See, me for 1.5. And when we are veterans going, what the fuck is going on with this?
Yeah.
But it's interesting. The fact that Kaladesh and Aether Revolt are not in the system makes it feel a little
Light.
yeah, it feels a little hollow.
Yeah.
Because like I crafted Scarab God because that's the deck I want to play, for Brawl and for just kind of fucking around in the standard format, and I crafted him, and then I went in and I go, oh, so there's no real good zombies for Black Blue. That's great.
Yeah, there's really not.
Yeah, because they are missing 2 whole sets. Now there's not like a massive amount of great zombies in those 2 sets, but there's probably a few.
Yeah.
So, and yes, he does make zombies on his own, but with as much aggro and hard control, those are the only 2 things that I'm seeing. I'm not seeing any tempo so far. But it's either straight face smash aggro or straight up control. So that kind of bugs me of going, yeah, I can drop the Scarab God, but he'll probably get countered. And if he doesn't get countered, he'll just get killed. Or I'll just get out aggroed because I can't kill their stuff and make enough tokens fast enough.
Yeah. Now, see, I went the route of pirates in Black Blue.
Okay.
And
Mm-hmm.
I did terribly for a very long time. And then I finally used the last of my wild cards to get some of the cards I needed. And if I go against like hard control, I'm in trouble. But if I go against any token decks, they're fucked.
Yep.
I destroy the token decks.
Yeah, that
That's a lot of them.
colonnade or cannonade or whatever that
Fire,
is
yeah, fiery
yeah.
cannonade. Yeah.
Yeah, that thing is insane. A one-sided 2 damage board wipe.
That is an instant.
That is an instant. It's so good. And I started messing around with my black-red deck because you get 10 starters, 1 for each of the dual colors.
Yep.
And one of my daily quests was to win 2 games with black-red. And so I was like, all right, whatever, because the green-red did not do well. I played 3 games and got my ass kicked all 3 games. The blue-red was really fun. I liked it a lot. But the black-red, I was like, oh, it's pirate aggro. And it's done very well. And it's got enough of the tech in it, and I feel like being able to flood out, and then when they try to flood out, I can cannonade and just fuck their whole board and keep swinging. Like, holy crap, you talk about a tempo swing.
Yeah, and you can go cannonade into molten shock and kill a god.
Yeah, pretty much. So
S-
it's yeah, it's interesting.
I've enjoyed it, um, just because it's nice to play Magic and not have to go to a card shop.
Yeah, and not have to have your eyes bleed while
Yeah,
trying to look at Magic Online.
we don't name that program.
If you say it 3 times, it will infect your computer.
Pretty much. Um, but there are other issues that the community has brought up.
Mhm.
One of the biggest issues is the, what do you call it, the economy of the game itself right now. Now, granted, we don't have the ability to buy cards, so
Mhm.
we are literally testing out the free to play aspect of the game, and
Which is also
it's
an
rough.
yeah, which is also an aspect that they will probably not improve.
Right, it is rough.
Yeah.
And I could definitely see some areas where they could improve it. So,
hmm
if Watsy, if you are listening, we know you're not, but if you are, the very first thing I would change is that vault. That should
Yes.
be all wild cards. It should not be random cards in there at all. It should
Nope.
just be wild cards. If you unlock that vault, you should be able to just get the wild cards for it.
With as much work as it takes
Yeah.
to get that thing to open, yeah.
I mean, you're look as a free to play person, you're probably looking at once a month.
Yeah.
And just for one random mythic, it's not worth it. Now, if
Is
it's
it
a
is it
wild,
a guaranteed mythic?
yeah, it's a guaranteed
Okay,
random mythic, but
gotcha.
it's just not worth it. It needs to be a wild mythic.
And we had talked about this before that they're focusing on trying to copy the wrong game. They're trying to focus on copying Hearthstone instead of Eternal.
Because Eternal is Magic Online.
It really is. And their free to play model is incredible because not only do I get a bunch of free stuff and you can play it completely free, but the fact that their packs are so cheap and I get free stuff, I not only want to support them, but when I'm like, no, I really want to buy some packs, I can buy some packs and not break the bank.
And just the way the game flows, you don't
Yeah.
have stop gaps at every little thing.
Oh,
It's,
Jesus Christ. Yep.
I play this, or I don't play this. I attack, or I don't attack.
Yes. And that's one of the things that I really liked about Eternal was that, you have by default have it turned on of the auto pass unless you have an action for it.
Yep.
And that you can only respond to certain things. Like I can't go, oh hey, I've got an instant and it's like, okay, well I'm gonna, pass phase or whatever, or I'm gonna do, pass this part of the phase. And then it's like, oh well, I have a chance to do it. Oh, I have a chance to do it. Oh, it's like, nope. Um, once you attack me, basically, then I can do something in response if I have an action for it. Or at the end of your turn, I can do a response.
Yep, pretty much.
And that it feels like it flows so much better. And so, as much as I do love Magic, and it's a love-hate relationship most of the time, but as much as I love Magic, I feel like if it stays in this form of Arena without helping the free to play players and making it easier to actually do that, if the packs aren't cheap enough, so on and so forth, if the vault stays ridiculously hard to open and they don't actually make it wild cards, I will just go back to Eternal. Like this game to me is right now in beta, and again, this is just closed beta. We still have open beta and all that shit to go, but I know how Wizards operates, especially lately. They're not going to put as much effort into this as they should. So this game is going to be the biggest advertisement for Eternal.
Now, assuming they do get the packs around $1.50, $2, $1.50 in bulk,
Yep.
and they do fix the vault,
Yeah.
I think I would be happy buying into it and playing.
Yeah.
Some of the things I will need is I will need tournaments. I will need
Yes.
tournament mode, and I will need Brawl.
Yep.
Brawl's going to be a big part. If they can't get Brawl into this game when it launches, I think they're going to have a difficult time. Now, in the future, I would like to see some single player campaigns,
Hmm.
and I would like to see rewards associated with those.
Hmm. Yeah, I think Brawl is what's going to keep me playing for the duration, at least until a full release, and just to see how it goes from there. But as far as just the regular grab your shit and go standard stuff, like we got into the closed beta late, or what about midway ish? We don't really know
Yeah,
when the open beta is going to happen, but it's been a little while since the closed beta started.
because we were
And
given keys from a source. That's all we're going to put so we don't get our accounts banned.
yep. But yeah, we sent in our info for a beta invite when it opened, like when it was announced, and that's been several months.
Yeah.
So when you go in and you're like, cool, I've got 10 starters, which the starters are really good, and 15 packs, four of each from Amonkhet, Hour of Devastation, and Ixalan, and then three from Rivals. I also felt
Technically,
that it was weird.
what you got was you got 3, 3, 3, 3,
Okay.
and then every week they give you one of the last three for free. So you got those three on top of the other ones.
Weird.
So on Friday, you will get
Hmm.
another three free packs, just
Okay.
straight up given to you. Now I
Okay,
don't
so
know if that's for the beta or if that will
mhm.
continue.
If it continues, I will be happy. Like if that makes it into the release where every week you get three free packs, yes, that would be very beneficial to the free to play players.
I would say if they continue that, it needs to be you log on and receive those packs.
Yes.
Not you don't log on for 2 months and then come in and you got two boxes.
Yeah. Although, to be fair, it doesn't really matter.
It
Like,
doesn't, except for resources on WotC's side.
yeah. But let's be fair, if they pull an EA and don't build the servers accordingly, that's their own fucking fault.
Yeah.
Like, the EA does the same thing. Actually, all of them do. They're like, oh yeah, we're releasing this big, super popular AAA game, but we have a broom closet for the server.
Yeah. But I just think it's good business to do it that way. That way people
Yeah,
are engaging in your game.
at least logging in, and then that entices people to stay for a little bit and play a match. Blah blah
Maybe
blah.
do their quests and
Yeah,
then yeah.
it is the smart way to do it.
Yep.
Um, but because then you can just log in once a week and it doesn't matter. Like even if you just log in Alt F4.
Exactly. Just
But
log in.
yeah, I think that's fine. Um, but I have noticed that I'm going up against decks. I'm getting paired up, which obviously, we're late in the beta, so
And we're
it's
going to get paired up during the beta because there's
yep.
so few people that
Hmm.
they don't want us waiting 10 minutes in queue, which I'm thankful. All the matches have been very fast to get.
Yeah.
Now, once it goes live and anybody and their mother can be on,
Hmm.
I expect that you will see the pairing up reduced.
Yeah. And but I was noticing that, but even though because that's mostly just like playtime
Yeah, I
because
mean, you win
it
enough
it
games, you'll go up.
yeah. But when I'm like level 1 and I'm getting paired against level 4s, it's like that's kind of high considering that you lose XP when you lose games after rank 1.
Yes, and that is, you know, because of the matchmaking, it is pretty much turned off.
Mm. But that can be a drastic jump in a person's collection because that means that they have won a lot more games than they've lost.
Yep, or at least they've completed a lot more quests, which has allowed them to open more packs.
Gotcha. But that's the other thing is the difference in collection from just jumping in to playing against other people when they've got, 4 cast outs and all sorts of random nonsense and everybody's got a fucking locust god or scarab god or something like that, which again, I've got one out of my packs because I got a wild mythic. But you're like, oh yeah, I'll do this stuff, and it's like, oh cool, I'm gonna play this expensive, overpowered card, and then I'm gonna play this one, and then I'm gonna drop a god. What are you gonna do? Concede.
Yep.
That's what I'm gonna do. So, and that's not been so bad. Like I've only seen 2 gods dropped, and they were, like game 3 and game 7. So, or actually, it'd be game 3 and game 9 because it was the last game that I played where the Locust God came out. Locust God's OP.
I've only seen Scorpion God so far.
Scorpion God's fun though. Like he doesn't feel as OP as the other 2.
Yeah.
Specifically Locust. Locust is fucking stupid.
In the right deck, yeah.
I mean, it's blue-red. Like, are you not going to be drawing cards? Of course you are.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
There's enough of it.
Yeah, exactly. But I do want to give a shout out to the people who actually put together the lists for those starter decks because they're actually solid.
I would buy them if they were real starter decks.
Yeah, me too.
Give us back the old precons that cost like $10.
Yep. Although I wish that they had, challenger decks on here instead.
Yeah, same here.
Just saying. Just throwing that out there, Wizards. Like
that brings me to another point is so like the new dual deck, which is what? Goblins versus Inventors or something?
Elves versus Inventors.
See, now that has unique cards to that dual deck.
Mm-hmm.
So, are they going to be selling that dual deck in here? So
Probably not.
We can get those cards?
Probably not, because it's not even a standard legal deck.
Yeah, but the cards are legal. In standard.
What do you mean? No, they're not. The dual decks are never standard legal.
You sure?
Some of the cards may be standard legal.
Because the Jace that comes out of the Jace deck is in here. Is in the arena. You have to craft them. You can't pull them out of a pack.
Let's see.
I think.
Let's take a look.
Which Jace is it? Is it the Planeswalker or is it the character that flips into Planeswalker?
Which one? The
one that comes out of the Jace pack.
Oh, the Jace. It's the old one. It's the very first Jace.
No, not the pack, but like the pre-con. You know how Ixalan had 2 Jaces, a shitty Jace? Like
those the Planeswalker decks are standard legal because they come out of that deck. The dual decks are not standard legal because they offer reprints usually from old sets.
Okay, that's where I was getting it confused. Then the Planeswalker decks, are they going to offer them in Magic Arena?
I don't know.
Because right now the Jace is in there, but you have to craft him with a wild card. And that's shitty.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought I saw that one in there, and I think the Vraska one was in there as well. So I don't think that the Planeswalker decks will be purchasable. I think that they will just have those as almost like the promos in Eternal.
Okay.
The only problem is that
they should downgrade
mythic.
Them. Yeah, they should downgrade them.
They should be fucking commons because they're basically unplayable in standard. They're standard legal, but they're terrible.
Or just give me the option to buy that Planeswalker deck.
Mm-hmm.
for like $5, and I
Yeah.
unlock those cards. I get, you know,
Yeah.
4 of each of the promo cards in there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Planeswalker decks. Let me take a look at the new ones, the Rivals
Yeah,
ones. Because if I recall, the problem with the Planeswalker decks is that they're like $15 and they're terrible.
they're
Like,
horrible.
yeah, like they don't come with any cards with monetary value. Like, let's see here. I don't even think they come with any other rares. I think it's just the Planeswalker.
Yeah, they're horrible.
So you're spending $15 for an unplayable in standard Planeswalker.
Yep.
Because, like, the new Vraska costs 6, so it's unplayable. Um, her her ultimate is actually really good. This one is actually solid. If she was 4 or 5, she would be playable.
Yeah.
But otherwise she's meh. Angrath deals 1 damage to target opponent and each creature that opponent controls. It's okay. Return target pirate card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Decent.
That's
Destroy
good.
all creatures target opponent controls, and he deals damage to that player equal to their total power. He's pretty solid. He costs 6.
Yeah. But
Um,
it would be nice to get a hostage taker, but wrong color.
yeah. Hell, I mean, just put in what's her face? Lannery Storm. Like
Yeah.
she's a dollar rare.
Yeah.
But it does have Vanquisher's banner, so it does have a rare in it. I'm trying to look for
Yeah.
the
I've been
rare.
playing.
Oh, that's right. It comes with Vraska's Scorn.
Oh. Almost had me until you said scorn.
Yep. Yeah, it's that's the other problem with the Planeswalker decks is that they come with the unique Planeswalker, and it comes with one unique card that is terrible, generally. Like
Yeah.
Vraska Scorn.
Or Tezzeret's thing.
It's Robo Penis or whatever.
Yeah.
They're always bad. They're do a thing, they cost a bunch, they do a thing that is really minuscule, and then it's like, you can search your deck for, and this is the problem, search your deck or graveyard for a card named Vraska, Scheming Gorgon, reveal it and put it into your hand.
Yep.
The problem there is that it actually tells you which Vraska you can get. If that card said, search your deck for a Vraska Planeswalker and put it in your hand, I play it.
Oh yeah. There's the Teferi one. You know, it's a neutered Teferi. It's terrible. And the unique card is his daughter. She costs like 3 for a 1/1 search for Teferi. I'm like, if that had been search for any Teferi, fuck yes. But no.
Yeah.
It's search for shitty Teferi.
Yeah, and that is what actually is just a huge missed opportunity because are they like, no, because that card will break standard if people use it. No, it won't, because it can only, in standard, it can only search for one other Vraska.
Exactly.
Yes, it's a very good Vraska, but still, nobody wants to pay 4 mana to make somebody lose 4 life and then fetch for a Planeswalker. Unless,
yeah.
like, it's solid, you know, you got 20 life in standard, so 4 damage is 4 damage, especially in black, and being able to fetch for a good Planeswalker. But to do that, you would be playing black-green, which means that deck is only viable in one very specific kind of deck.
Yep.
For the Teferi one and some of the other ones, it's like there's only one, will only be one standard legal Teferi.
Other than the Planeswalker
Other than
one.
other than the Planeswalker one. Yeah, that's terrible. So yes, it can search for that Teferi. Guess what? Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, he still costs 5. You still can't play them both on the same turn.
Yep.
You know, your opponent's going to have the information that Teferi's coming, save a counterspell.
Yep.
You know, it's dumb.
Yeah. Now, I will say that, for instance, like this Angrath, the one that pulls pirates from the graveyard onto the battlefield and deals the damage, does a mini board wipe and stuff like that. He would actually be solid in Commander. Yeah, he costs 6, but Commander games generally go longer. He would be solid. He also has 5 loyalty, so he's a little harder to kill. Same with this Vraska. She's okay. She doesn't know what she's trying to do, though, because creatures you control get +1/+0 until end of turn, which is very aggro. Then her second ability is to destroy a creature, which is control. And then the last one is until end of turn, creatures you control gain Death Touch, and whenever this creature deals damage to an opponent, that player loses the game. The reason why that card is broken as shit in Commander is that it says damage, not combat damage.
Yep. Throw a fire whip on them.
Yep.
Fling
more
them.
Importantly, there is a Eldrazi. So this is of course for Commander. This isn't for Standard. But there is an Eldrazi that costs 2 and a red, and he says tap, deal 1 damage to each opponent.
There you go. Pow,
So
pow, pow, pow.
Yep. So you go up. Oh, ultimate. Everybody's dead. I win. But that's such a hard combo to pull off. First off, you got to keep that dude alive. You have to get her. You have to use her ability 4 times.
And you got 4 or 3 to 1 other people looking at her.
Yep.
1 bolt, 1 anything.
Yeah. So it's the Planeswalker decks are famously terrible. So I think that they should downgrade their rarity, or that when a new set releases and you buy any product for that set, you get them. You get a copy of them.
Like as a thank you purchase.
Yes. Like, hey, if you buy 5 packs, you get Vraska. Or your choice, Angrith or Vraska.
Or just make it a quest. Play or win twice with the black-red deck and get
Angrith.
Get Angrith.
Yep, I think that would actually be fantastic, and that would be very similar to how Eternal does it, which is, hey, we have a promo, win a game a day.
Yep.
Cool. I don't know. They haven't been doing very good with the dual decks. They haven't been doing very good with the Planeswalker decks. And since the dual decks are not technically standard legal because they do offer reprints usually from older sets, that causes a problem, because if they released them in Magic Arena, it would only be useful for either Modern or Legacy.
Which we don't have access to those formats.
Exactly. With the Planeswalker decks, they are standard legal, but they're worthless.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
It's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out and how they're going to move forward with this. Best we can do now is just wait and see what they will do. Of course, submit our feedback, let them know what we would like to see. But in the end, it's still their game, so we may not see that.
And here's the thing, is that, and we've talked a little bit about this before, of intellectual property and the difference between criticizing intellectual property and demanding that something be changed for intellectual property. When we see a movie, let's say Last Jedi, and cue all the nerd rage. But let's talk Last Jedi.
Are you sure?
It is a movie that was very divisive for the fandom. A lot of people hated it so much that they were actually signing petitions online to have the movie removed from canon. You don't get to do that. You do not get to do that. That is not your movie. If you did not like it, again, just like with these card shops who are still trying to sell packs of Masters 25 for $10, even though booster boxes are $150, you gambled and lost. You went to go see a movie, you paid your $10, you didn't like it. Move the fuck on.
Yeah, I agree.
with Magic Online or Magic Arena, if there is something we don't like, we can criticize it. But the thing that we cannot do is saying, I'm signing a petition or demanding that you fix this thing, because it's not, like you said, it's their game. But we
Exactly.
do have the right and honestly the obligation to say these are the problems that we're facing. And when you look at games like Star Wars Battlefront 2, when people come out in droves saying this is fucked up, you should fix this, sometimes it gets fixed.
Right. Like,
So
me
go ahead.
personally, if I was making Arena, I would make it Magic Online 2.0. Period.
Yeah.
That would be me. I would have trading, I would have the interface, I would have all that stuff. But that's not what they wanted to do, and I understand why they didn't want to do that, because there's a lot of people who have collections on Magic Online.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you could have offered a transfer,
Yeah.
but
I think
something.
that there's two ways that they could have done it that I think would have satisfied everyone. And that is that when the move happens, it calculates all of the, takes an inventory of all the items on each individual account, which this would be tough and it would take time, but it's the right way to do it. Takes an inventory of all the items that you had on Magic Online and doesn't do a one-to-one transfer over to Arena just because those sets are not out yet. If you've got, 17 Black Lotuses, though we don't have Alpha or Beta or Unlimited or whatever. Give those people equal amounts of mythic wildcards, rare wildcards, and so on and so forth, equal to the number of those rarity cards in their collection. Then they
And
can just trade those in for whatever the fuck they want. They can save them for when Alpha does get released, if it does, or whatever.
and here's the key. Don't get rid of their stuff on Magic Online. Allow them
Yeah.
to stay there if they wish.
Yes. Yes.
Don't force them. I mean, still give them the free product over on Magic Arena, but don't remove the product from Magic Online. Just maybe, slowly stop updating it like you did 15 years ago. And
Yeah.
then, still have sets come out over there, but, make it very clear that the focus is going to be moving into Arena.
Yeah. And I think that's the right way to do it.
But there's no
Like,
trading set up in Arena, so it's not worth it.
yeah. And the fact that, I don't know, can you sell Magic Online cards for actual money, or is it just
Yeah,
tickets?
nope. You can sell on eBay.
Okay. So that ends up being the other thing is it becomes a massive reward for the people who do get to keep their collections on Magic Online and who get the stuff in Arena, because then they get to have a full, 8,000 cards or whatever on Arena, and then they can just sell all their Magic Online stuff and make, $8,000.
Yep. But you gotta have somebody buy it.
Yes. But I mean, hell, I was able to sell my Game of Thrones 1.0 collection when they announced that they were ending the game. Mind you, it went from $1,500 to $400, but still.
Ouch.
Yeah, it was right when I finished the entire collection too. I spent about $200 buying the last big boxes and cycles or whatever, and then they're like, "Hey, by the way, we're getting rid of it."
Yeah.
Oh, okay, thanks.
Well, I got the last card I needed for Star Wars Destiny to have a full playset of the first set, and then I think that's like up to 650 now, and I think I'm gonna sell that.
Yeah.
Give me some money for Magic. Give me some money for some other things I need to spend on, because I'm just
That,
not playing Destiny.
yeah. Yeah, and I don't know. You might as well sell that collection because you probably won't go back to it either.
And it will rotate, and
Yeah.
then it will be worth nothing.
Yep.
Well, I don't really have now. we could definitely talk a little bit about Magic in general,
Hmm.
mainly Brawl.
Yeah,
Some
'cause I think
interesting commanders to be looking at.
yeah, and I think our attitudes towards Brawl have changed since
Yeah,
last week
it's casual.
because we both kind of came, or when they announced it, we're like, this seems weird and stupid and out of nowhere. But the more that I've talked about it, because I was able to talk with RJ about it a little bit and Will Lentz from the White Book, and it feels like it's a smarter move than we thought, and it also feels like it's going to be more fun than we thought.
Yes, I agree, and it definitely has that feel of more casual, sitting around with your friends. Now, I'll probably still prefer to play one on one versus in a 4 person group,
Mm.
personally, but there's a lot of interesting commanders we could be using. And there's a lot of interesting um, combos.
Mm.
And with the singleton format, I think we will see a lot more fun out of it. And it will allow people who want to get back into Magic to be able to get back in without spending $80 on a playset of, Vraska's Contempts.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little expensive on some of those cards, like Final
Yeah.
Push.
Yeah, and with Brawl, you only have to pick up one of them. And you
Exactly.
don't even have to pick up like a Vraska's Contempt because I was talking with the guys yesterday about this. There is a ongoing conversation in the commander communities of building to 75%. And what that entails is that for a format like that, which is can be really expensive to go into, power levels can fluctuate from super jank all the way up to, you know, several $1,000 decks. So there's a big gap there. So yes, you can tune your deck to 100% and be using, if you're running a 2-color deck, you could have 4 fetch lands in there and all the dualies and all the shock lands and all of this and all of that, and mana crypt, and you can do that. But you're going to have 2 problems, and they'll probably fluctuate between which problem you're having during that game.
Let me
One,
guess. One of the problems is your car will get repossessed?
that is a possibility. One of the problems is you're going to sit down with 3 other people and it's going to turn into arch enemy.
Yes.
Then what happens? You have a $2,000 deck, and you got your ass kicked on turn 3 because they saw you as the threat and they all ganged up on you before you turn 4 infinite comboed.
Yep, they
So
saw
you
that
didn't
mana
get to.
crypt and they
Yep.
said, fuck you.
And so guess what? You didn't get to play your $2,000 worth of cards. So was that fun for you? No. The other option is you combo off on turn 4 and kill everybody, and then nobody else had any fun. So then everybody's going to it's going to turn into arch enemy. It's a race. Can these 3 people kill me before I combo off and win? So either you're not having any fun and you spent all this money, or they're not having fun and they may stop playing the game. Or you may not play with them anymore because they don't want you to play with them anymore.
Yeah, you
So,
have to take Commander as a fun, yet
yes.
serious, but
Yeah.
mostly fun.
Semi-competitive, mostly casual. So for the decks that I've been building lately, Geeson Geralf, Skullbriar, which is actually turning into Marin, and stuff like that, I am not trying to tweak them to 100%. I'm not getting the super expensive, $50, $60 staple cards, or making sure that I've got Sylvan Library and Sensei's Divining Top and Miri's Guile and this and that and everything else. I want it to be, I have some staples that make things efficient, but also I have my combo pieces. And like, for instance, Vraska's Contempt. I would love to have a Vraska's Contempt, and maybe if I find one cheap enough, I'll get one. But I can just use Hero's Downfall. It's a step down from it, but it's not really bad. It's not worse. It
Correct.
still does what I need it to do.
It does
Destroy a creature or a
75% of what
planeswalker.
you need it to do.
Exactly. Does it gain me 2 life? No. Does it exile it? No. But there's other cards if I need to exile. There's a card called Guild. It's from a ways back. I've never even seen this card until I started sifting through dollar boxes. And it's 3 and a black, so it's roughly the same cost as Vraska's Contempt, which is 2 and 2 black. And it says exile target creature, you get a gold token, which is basically the modern day treasure token. Tap and sack for a mana of any color.
Doesn't tap.
So, oh, the gold doesn't?
Nope, that's why they were broken and they were replaced with treasure.
Because you could tap them all for other abilities and then sack them all for mana?
Yep.
Wow, that's really even better then. So it's a 4-cost. It does not target a planeswalker, but it does exile a creature. So it'll take out any of the gods, exile a creature, get a gold token. That is fine. I got that out of a dollar box. Now, I could have paid $25 or $20 and got a Vraska's Contempt. But it felt like a win more. Like, I already had Guild. So that's where I think Brawl has to be, because the issue with Brawl is going to be that you have a smaller deck size, so it's going to be more contained. Your like combos and stuff like that and synergies are going to be more restrictive. But also, if you have people coming in from Standard, most people who play Standard are hyper competitive.
Right, which is why I think they're trying to get the very new players to come in.
I gotcha. Yeah,
Because...
and I think that's giving competitive players a casual outlet, and giving casual and new players a basically intro or a entryway into Standard is a very smart move.
I agree. I'm looking forward to Brawl. I really hope they bring out Brawl Commander decks that we can buy.
Yes.
But we don't know yet. Don't know what those plans are.
And I think that Brawl decks would be fantastic, as long as they did them like the Challenger decks, where it's like, yes, these cards have real value, like the Chandras, 20-something, $30. Or the Heart of Kirans were like $20. They have dropped drastically. But give us the cards that we need to be able to sit down and play a game of Brawl without getting our shit kicked in by people who have been playing Standard for ever and ever. Same with basically have the people who are doing the Commander products already do the Brawl decks.
I agree. I wholeheartedly agree.
Because we played, it was me, Dakota, and RJ yesterday, and we played a 3-person Commander game. I was playing my Skullbriar deck, and I was going off pretty good. RJ was playing Suruk Dragonclaw, which is a beast tribal, like, stompy, kind of. It wasn't really aggro, it was more stompy.
Yeah, stompy sounds right.
And Dakota was playing his Fraley's Precon that he got out of the Commander Anthology. Not really updated at all. I don't think he's put anything new in there. It's straight up Precon. So he ended up going off, almost killed us. We cracked back on him, almost killed him. And then we had this Cold War going as we built up our boards. He swung in, almost killed us. We swung back in, cracked back, and almost killed him. And then we had a Cold War going for a while longer. And then it's like, okay, well, this game's going on for forever. We need to end this so we can, get into another game. We want to switch decks, blah, blah, blah. So I kind of started going off. They checked me. RJ started to do some stuff. We checked him. Dakota started going off. We tried to check him, thinned out a couple of things. And then we're like, all right, let's just force this game to end. And then Dakota's like, oh, I can do that. Smash and kill everyone. And we're like, what the fuck?
He had the
Go ahead.
win the whole time. He was just playing
Well,
it out.
he was actually trying to build up his board big enough to just one-shot us, but he had an overrun, which
Oh,
was what almost killed us the first time. And the second one was, and he almost killed me later. He had some wind elemental thing that assigns combat damage as if it's not blocked, and he buffed it with Timberwatch Elf. So it was like a 17-17 that just hit me straight in the face, regardless of my blockers, and dropped me to like 4. So then we're like, okay, well, at least he's not going to have anything else with trample. And he's like, overwhelming stampede. All my dudes gets +9/+9 and trample.
yo.
We're like, fuck. Yep, that ends it.
Yep, that does it.
Yep. But that it was so cool that a precon could take out 2 constructed decks that were tuned to about, I would say mine was probably about 80%. Maybe less. Maybe 75 or 70 actually, because there's a few cards that I deliberately left out. Like it's not using Shieldred or anything crazy like that. And RJ's was about 80% because he had some stuff like sneak attacks and relentless assault. But that precon killed 2 of us. So
you should buy him a recycle.
Oh god. Dude, I haven't seen Recycle in a while.
It's only like $2.
Let me take a look at it.
For anybody who doesn't know, it costs 6. It's 4 and 2 green. Enchantment, skip your draw phase. Whenever you play a card, you draw a card.
And then your max hand size is 2.
Correct.
Yep. I'm gonna go ahead and put that on my wish list so that I can pick him up one of those. And there is actually a black one from Planner Chaos that is the exact same thing. It was just flipped into black, and it's called Null Provision. And it's the exact same thing. It's 6 cost. Skip your draw phase. Whenever you play a card, draw a card, and your max hand size is 2. Yep. And I'm thinking about trying to get one of those as well. It's in every dollar box. Nobody wants that card, but
now, if he wants to spend a little bit of money, he could pick up an Allurn for $20. Also, a green enchantment, 2 colorless, 2 green enchantment. Any player may play a creature card with a casting cost of 3 or less whenever he or she could pay an instant without paying its casting cost.
That seems real good.
Yep, makes all your creatures that are 3 or less free and flash. But it does it for your opponent too. But when you have a recycle, you go through your entire deck. And then you go overrun.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe you have a green enchantment that gives everybody haste. Just saying.
Yeah, that's true. Unfortunately, Concordant Crossroads is like $70.
Yeah.
I had one too.
Even the stupid Chronicles version.
Yeah. Yep. But
that's the problem with Magic is they refuse to reprint expensive cards.
Yep.
Oh, let's not go into the reserve list again.
Yep. You know what's going to be fun? When they start having a reserve list for Magic Arena. We know that these cards have no value and you can't trade them, but also fun.
I personally think Magic Arena should be void of the reserve list due to the fact that they have no value and they cannot be traded. I think they should have no problem bringing out older sets that have reserve list cards on it. Now, granted, Tolarian Academy will be still banned in every format ever fucking made.
Yep.
But, hey. What really irritates me is the new flip Tolarian is red-blue. It should have just been a blue card.
Yep.
And allows you to splash in black or white or whatever.
Yeah, I think it should have been too. And I know why they did it.
To keep it out of the other colors.
Well, that, but I think the main thing is they're trying to push that is it artifact synergy. And I get it, but if it would have been just mono blue, it still would have been. I feel like Search for Azcanta should have been multicolored, and the Storm the Vaults should have been mono blue.
I agree. I still think Storm the Vault should have been blue or blue black to match Tezzeret because he's the artifactor. But they didn't do that. Even Mishra, which was blue black red, so it somewhat matches Mishra. It doesn't match Urza at all, who's blue white. It's just irritating. I think they just chose the wrong colors for that.
Yep. I think so too. And especially when they go, hey, we're going to reprint Gaia's Cradle as Growing Rights of Itlamok, and it's mono green. But
Yeah,
then they're like,
exactly.
oh, we're going to reprint Tolarian Academy, but we're making it multicolored and whatever. And it has to be done in this specific type of synergy.
Yeah. Now, I mean, if it was the exact same card, but it was two blue instead of a blue red, I could easily throw it into a black blue treasure deck.
Yep.
In fact, I still could. I mean, I could just. I have treasure, so I will have access to red. Maybe throw in a couple dualies and just have that be my only red card in there. In fact,
Yeah,
I might do that.
Yeah, because it's still worth it, and also once you get that card out, it gives you more treasure tokens.
Yeah, I just wanted to use it in Brawl, which means now I have to have a black, blue, red commander.
Beckett Brass.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Yeah. Yup.
Sons
and she's
of
gonna be
bitches.
amazing in Brawl.
Yeah, I need to pick up one of those before she gets too expensive.
Yeah. Because Brawl will probably make her go up because she's one of the only 3-color. Yeah.
Yeah, she's a buck. Okay. Sold.
Yep. And if you're going that route anyway, then you're probably going to be using pirates because they also make treasure tokens, so you can just make pirate tribal Brawl.
Okay, that's the deck I'm going to be working on.
Yep. And that's actually that's a solid deck. Especially because you have, oh man, and you have alternate win cons in those colors. Because you can do the pull from eternity or whatever. Target player draws X cards.
You can also do the riches card.
Yep, Revel in Riches.
The artifact generation one. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Plenty of stuff.
I still need to search for Azcanta though.
Yeah, I'm glad I picked mine up when it was like $5.
I wish you would have picked up 2.
I wish I would have picked up 4. How much is that thing going for now? That thing is going for $23. That's stupid. Yeah, I need to work that into a couple of my decks for Commander. I think I'm going to put it in my zombie deck since I'm playing stuff from the graveyard. Because it does say you may transform it.
Search for Azcanta was the buy a box promo.
I'll go buy you a box.
Yeah, I wish.
Yeah. They're not that expensive, are they?
$60.
The box?
No, the buy a box program.
Oh no. I'm saying, buy you a box of Ixalan, get you one of those.
You don't get that now.
Was it just the first print run?
Yeah, it's just the first little bit that they sent out to the shops.
Lame. God, Wizards, could you fuck it up anymore? Maybe they should have put a some sort of mocks or something in the Masters 25 boxes. That's the other thing is the Master sets don't have buy box promos, do they?
Nope.
Yep. Way to fuck it up.
Looks like search for as contest $18.
How much?
18.
Yeah, it fluctuates from website to website.
Yeah, I think that might be something that I'm just gonna wait on.
Yep, I did find a Vraska's Contempt on eBay for like 14, I think.
Oh, not bad.
It's not bad. I don't know if it's quite worth it. But yeah, I don't know. Magic's in a weird spot. It's in a good spot in a lot of ways, and then it's in a bad spot in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But I think that with Brawl, it's going to bring some fresh perspective and fresh ideas into Standard. And I feel like as long as they very soon they need to do this, hopefully when Brawl releases or whatever, I don't know when the actual date is when it becomes a legal format, but when they actually say, oh, and retroactively everything in or all planeswalkers in regular Commander can be used as commanders now.
Yes, I would like to see that a lot.
That needs to happen because that will also revitalize the Commander format.
Okay. Do you have any closing thoughts?
Not really. Magic Arena, whoever's behind that, do better.
Yep, just do a little better. But
Yep.
You got time. You don't have to do
Yeah.
it tomorrow.
Yeah, like, and I'm not gonna sign a petition telling you to fucking fix shit, but also just look at Eternal. Stop looking at Hearthstone. Look at Eternal. Eternal
Yeah.
is what is the Magic Arena before you guys made Magic Arena. Go mess with it. Go look at how they do their stuff. And if you're gonna rip off a game, rip them off. Especially since Hearthstone doesn't even play remotely close to Magic.
Yeah, it's not meant to be a Magic style game.
Nope.
As always, thank you for listening, and you can check out our previous episodes at mediocregamers.com, as well as on iTunes and Google Play. Keep up to date with us on Facebook and Twitter at 2mediocregamers, and chat with us on Discord. Links will be posted in the description below. Now get out there and play some games.